Perfect. Our next session is given by Santiago Barcon. He is an electrical engineer specialized in power systems from Universidad Iberoamericana and holds a master's degree in business administration from ITESM. He is a life senior member of IEEE and a member of SIGRE. He served as president of the Mexican Association of Energy Efficiency Companies and as vice president of CANAME. He also participated as a member of the Reliability Committee that contributed to drafting Mexico's grid code. He is co-author of the book Power Quality, Power Factor and Harmonic Filtering, published by McGraw-Hill, and is a columnist for Energía Hoy magazine. In 2024, he published How to Be a Good Engineer, 10 Commandments, and 100 Top Tips to Achieve It, which is already available in Spanish and English. He is currently the managing director of PQ Barcon, BAORG, and the Instituto EH. Writer at 2015 Planeta Prize winner Jorge Cepeda Patterson describes him as a free spirit riding on Excel, a bohemian with an agenda. Santiago will give the first talk of the day, from university logic to industry logic, how decisions, priorities, and success metrics change. Welcome, Santiago. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No, on the contrary, Ariana, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to make the presentation. And of course, if later someone wants to contact me, I will share the presentation and all my data is going to be there. So I'm going to start to share the screen. So
thank you.
So can you hear? Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it in presentation. So this from university logic to industry logic takes a number of data, and I use the book as you presented it, and How to Be a Good Engineer, 10 Commandments and 100 Top Tips. So it's a practical guide for going out from college and entering into what is going to be the real life. So which is the roadmap? You have to change the mind. It's a mind shift. Industry is different. What makes a great engineer? Which are the core values? And of course, from textbook to the real world, it's not an easy step, but there's no other way that you can keep on growing. So how to get mentor, how to create teams, and the importance of continuous learning. That of course the IEEE is a foundation stone in order to achieve it. Safety, ethics, and standards, and also what you should start to do on Monday. No, I'll give you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for free. So in the university, you have one correct answer per problem, or of course, in the industry, there's going to be a number of alternatives, so they have to be evaluated. Also, you have the theoretical versus the messy real-world constraints. You know, life is not easy, and life always gives surprise. So, also in the university, even though that we work with our college friends and other students, it's not the team effort is not as much as it's required and gives a competitive advantage in the industry. Also, the grades are what you achieve, and of course, in the industry is what the change you create, no? The impact and the safety. And time, you have more control of your time while you are at the university, and at the industry you will depend on bosses and you will depend on customers, and it's a complete different situation. No? What is very important is that decisions have to be made fast. It's not a lot of time to sometimes makes the right decision. So to have this mindset in order to achieve speed and accuracy, it's a must. No? So in the book, we have these 10 commandments that I wrote, and of course they are based in the God's commandments from the Bible, but I adapted them. So it's love your profession above all the activities. Very important, never minimize the decisions you must make. Take breaks if you want to stay alive, and I mean it, not to have a bad accident that might cost your life. You have to be fresh all the times and be productive. Very important, you have to honor colleagues and competitors. Safety always first, never put your fellow humans at risk. And the one that I like the most is this number 6. You have to give back to the society more than you have received. About ethics, not steal, no corruption, do not lie. And money is not the measure of success. You have to, there's a lot more important things than just money. Of course, we need money to have a nice life, but if your whole goal is money, you will never be happy. And you have to keep on learning every single day. For some reason, engineers and get out of school and they are like they believe they know everything, and it's just the first step. You have to keep on learning every single day. And very important, the integrity. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. And of course, your name will be tarnished if you do not behave like a real engineer and in a great fashion, and you don't take care of the rest of the people. And this phrase from Thomas Edison, that success is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Perseverance is the key of success. If you don't have perseverance and you throw the towel every time that you find into a different difficult situation, you will never succeed. Also, you have to learn. I made a mistake. You know, that's a mark of a good engineer. The only ones that do not make mistakes is the ones that they don't do anything. So we will make mistakes. We will keep on doing mistakes, but you have to be brave enough and to face the consequences, and also to be in charge of the situation. Something that is very important is that sometimes you see curriculums that they have 15, 20, 25 years of experience. But I always question if it's 1 year repeated, as it says here, 17 times, or really 17 years of experience. How you achieve the 17 years of experience? Of course, doing different things. If you just do one thing, you will never grow professionally and, of course, personally. You cannot lie. No, lying about the product's specs is almost a crime. You can have fire, bridges collapses. We in Mexico City we have earthquakes, as you are probably very familiar, and a lot of the buildings that fell is because they were not according to the standards. And of course, this is the excuse that I met the standard is just such a bad excuse. The standard is the minimum of the minimums. No? This is where you start to grow and design and do the final product. For example, IEC and NEMA does not consider that there are cities that they have temperatures up to 50 degrees. If you just plan Celsius, if you just plan to have the 40 degrees or 45 degrees that the standard says, the equipment will fail. They will probably catch fire, and then you will have a main problem. everyone can fall down. That's very important to remember. So you don't create idols, or you don't believe that someone is invincible. I'm pretty sure that we will see Mr. Musk going down within the next 10 to 20 years. And even GE, that was the largest company in the world in 2000, now it's not even in the stock 30 more important companies in the United States. No? So you have to really look into the future and realize that eventually you will fall down, but you need to recover and you need to stand up again and fight it. So these are just companies that they were very powerful. Westinghouse, AEG in Germany, Sprague in capacitors in the United States, Cooper Power now it's part of Eaton. So these companies always will have some let's say they will fall down, and the important thing is that you stand up and recover. You have to use your hands if you want to be a good engineer, and of course have plan B, plan C, plan D, and more important, if you want to be a master in something, you have to spend 10,000 hours or about 2 hours a day for 14 years. If you want to be a good tennis player, if you want to play in a nice way any musical instrument, you will need these 10,000 hours. So you have to be a rocket. You have to adjust course as is needed, not just a cannonball. And I really like this phrase, don't practice until you get it right, practice until it's impossible to get it wrong. And of course, plan B, plan C, D, it goes to this premeditation of adversity. So if you plan for scenarios, you will be prepared. You have to write. You have to write a lot because that's the best way to uh, put your thoughts in a clear way. No? All leaders are readers, as I mentioned here. Napoleon took books on campaigns. Without reading, and I mean reading continuously, you will not be very successful. Uh, Something very important is that you have to speak at least two languages. If you were born in the United States, I know that English is the lingua franca, but of course, if you know Spanish or French or any other language, your possibilities to succeed are a lot more important. For us Latins, Portuguese is almost free, as from the people from Brazil, Spanish is almost free. And once that you speak Spanish and Portuguese, French is easy, a lot easier. So it's just a role that you start to do. Mentors, teams, and continuous learning. No, it's a must to find a mentor. You have to rely in some people, but you have to approach. They will not come to you. Think on people that you admire, and then trust your intuition. You cannot ask someone to be a mentor. You have to earn his confidence. The example that I put here is ask for a book recommendation or specific advice, and then you have to send notes or ask deeper questions over time. And then, of course, when you see that someone is following your advice, you're a lot more happy. So successful people, of course, have very complicated agendas. So don't just settle with one mentor. Look for two, look for three. And very important, once that you start, you are out of college or university, and if you arrive to a company where the boss is not allowing you to grow, it's time to change. You're not going to change. You're not going to change his way, and you are just wasting a very precious time, especially when you are young and you are just trying to you are growing in the knowledge. Always say we, don't I, that kills cooperation, and create this habit of asking who can do this better than me. No, don't try to do everything. Artificial intelligence will be even more important to people that knows how to ask questions and knows how to get information from any place. So, what can you learn from other professions? An architect. And a phrase that I like a lot is that you become old when you lost curiosity. No? If the brain is a muscle, if you don't use it, it will not work properly. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 68 years old, and I have friends that they were old and 92 years old, that they are still reading the book and they are sending me comments on the book. And you have people that just out of from college that they don't even try to learn something new every day. No? So, of course, you have to keep on investing, because if you think that education is expensive, just try ignorance. No? The IEEE, SIGRE, whatever you want to be as an engineer, you have to belong into association where you can learn from the other people that is part of this. So IEEE is an excellent, and I'm very happy to have made a decision to join as a student and keep on being a member until today. Travel, you learn about other people. Actually, I don't trust people that has not traveled a lot, because they tend to look only in a very small environment, and of course, that's the kiss of death. No? Teach. When you are teaching, you are remembering everything, and don't just be a great electrical engineer or chemical engineer. Learn beyond your discipline. I think that Leonardo da Vinci is one of these classic examples. And as soon as you stop learning, you begin to die. Safety. I had when I was in charge of one company, we have an HV lab operator that jumped just to get a 4.5-meter fence to get his jacket. He was one of the best, but safety, we should have put, when you say, well, it's 4.5 meters. So someone that jumps over that in a HV lab, of course, you can say it's 100% his fault. But if we had put the fence all the way to the ceiling and made it impossible to jump, he will be still alive. And this anecdote of the seat belt, he gave me this Swedish, he was a mentor, by the way, gave me a bad safety evaluation, because the only thing, I started the car before putting the seat belt, and he always told me, safety first. Never let on the Challenger disaster. The chief engineer faced the top management, and they asked him to take the engineering hat and put the manager's hat, and of course we know what happened to the Challenger. You have to report anything that is not legal or is putting into the rest of the people. You have the moral obligation, as I mentioned, to give back to society, and we have to learn as an engineers to charge for our knowledge. I always said, why do you ask a discount for a fellow engineer, and you don't do that with a notary or with a doctor or with a lawyer? And of course, this phrase that is in the bottom, when they tell me that it's not illegal, what I'm hearing is not ethical. It's when you are trying to bend the truth or the right thing to do, and you enter into the legal terms, then of course it's not ethical. Well, what you have to do, you have to write something every week. Start to identify 2 or 3 potential mentors. Could be the father of one of your friends, could be a teacher. Of course, you have to look for them. Everyone is a member here in IEEE, but sadly, when they came out from college, the tariff goes up and the attendance goes down. No? Learn outside from the field, read about art, read about music, whatever you like, and try to broaden your scope. And practice says, I don't know. Don't invent. If you don't know, it's okay. No, it's a mark of excellence, not of weakness. You have to spend 10 minutes a day just thinking, no distractions, no phones, no computer, just thinking of what you can achieve. And exercise. No? And if I'm not talking about that you will become a triathlete, but even walking, it really keeps your mind, your body healthy, and if your body is healthy, your mind is healthy. Uh, so in order to, we're approaching the finish. The industry rewards integrity, not just intelligence. You have to really gain experience. No? Try to vary what you do. Even when you are coming to work, try to take another road if you have time. You will learn if there's a new restaurant or a new bookstore. No? Writing and communication will set you above everyone because less than 2% of the engineers write. You have to be an exception. And of course, safety first. No? And if in doubt, abort. You have to invest in yourself relentlessly. Now that if you go to one of the shops, normally they are in downtown in the big cities of used books, you find jewels, no, for almost nothing, no, of engineering books, and we have to defend our profession. No, we do not have to accept being underpaid, lie, or stay silent. So, in order to finish on time, here are the books in Spanish and in English. Fortunately, the sales have been very brisk, and we are looking forward to keep on promoting the book and teaching. So far, more than 6,000 people. I made the presentation to over 6,000 students in Mexico and in Colombia. Here is my data. You can, of course, always contact me. And if you Google, I appear. My last name is not it's very uncommon, so it's easy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Santiago. The talk was amazing. I loved it. I have screenshots and a lot of tips I took, so thank you very much.
No, I will share it. I will share it with you, of course, the presentation.
Awesome. That would be great. I also followed you on LinkedIn. I recommend everyone, if you haven't, to do the same as well.
Yeah,
So Santiago, thank you so much for your time today. I hope we can stay in touch, and I'm sure people will reach out to you with questions and maybe to be mentored by you.
I will. I will be more than happy to do it. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. And
Bye.
reminder to everyone, our next session is already starting. So thank you for joining here and see you on the other talk, in the other session.
Bye bye.
Enjoy the day.